again, it's just the same bullshit NIMBYism that I've seen over and over again. Like, look at like Clarence Thomas. So Clarence Thomas is an example of a very successful black man. He's on the Supreme Court, and he's getting, supposedly he's taking big bribes from billionaires, which is not entirely the case, although he did receive quite a few lavish gifts. Let's be very, very frank about that, as has every other member of the court, except for apparently Kagan, or is it Sotomayor, even worried about being given bagels by a friend. I think that was Sotomayor. And so yeah, if you want to live a Spartan lifestyle and only get the six-figure salary of a Supreme Court justice, really, you've put on your monk's robe and you're shouting alms for the poor at that point. This is a statement of her astonishing clarity. If you look at, for example, Clarence Thomas or somebody similar to that, who is successful, they did so in that supposed merit-based system. I realize that everyone's constantly shouting about how affirmative action helped Clarence Thomas. He did well in school. He may have been subject to affirmative action on the admissions process, but he definitely succeeded. Under affirmative action, one of the problems with it is, imagine that you are really smart. You are really talented, and you happen to be black or Hispanic or something. You happen to be BIPOC. You happen to be a person of color. How this is different from colored people, which would rankle the average person in parlance, is not entirely clear. So you go to college, and you get your master's degree or whatever. You become a dentist, you become a lawyer, you become, you're the commissioner, you become a governor or something. You're successful. Even if affirmative action played no role, you really just did really get really great scores, your GPA 4.0, you took a dozen AP courses, and you knocked it out of the park, top of your class, fucking valedictorian in high school and in college. You were in NHS, you were in all the clubs, you ran all the clubs, you were student president, etc., etc., etc. You did everything right. There will be people, many of which are white NIMBYist liberals like this person supposedly is, who will chuckle to themselves and say, oh, we helped another black person to succeed. Poor little black person could not have done it on their own. Affirmative. And by the way, then if they wander off the plantation politically, so they don't vote Democrat, generally speaking, it tends to be a heavy partisan overlap on that phenomena, then they will berate them and call them names. Uncle Tom, Oreo, racial epithets. I see this all the fucking goddamn time, especially aimed at fucking Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas, by the way, with his overdeveloped sense of humor, finds this hilarious, apparently, and constantly writes one-liners about these people.